Ready?
Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Ready?
Oh,
Hello.
Okay. Hey, the whole family of Farida is around the camera. Hello, family Farida. Absolutely awesome. Welcome, everybody. I'm highly excited about the call we have set up tonight. And it was not easy to get him basically on the call. I tell you what we're going to do tonight. We have somebody on the call who has not just achieved last year the Active Rule team. Now, with that achievement on its own, he basically gets more or less for free to Paris. Paris is our European extravaganza, so he gets an extra 12,000 rand travel reward from Herbalife. He has got already an extra $500 for the achievement of the Active Rule. And he has achieved now, he put his mind to it to qualify basically now and set up a goal for himself with the 10,000 volume points for January, and he hit the 10,000 volume points. And he just wanted to share with you because he did it in such a simple way that he is desperate to share it with all of you to show what is possible for each one of you. So I want to have now really a big wow and welcome and applause and whatever you can do to cheer him on, because I know the whole day and the last weekend already he put into place just the preparation for the call tonight, because he knows how important it is to give you the simplicity of what he has done in January, that each one of you understands it's not him who is special, it's actually what he has done everybody can achieve. So please give it up for him with a big thank you already in advance. Our international active World Team member on his way to Global Expansion Team member and beyond, Hashim Nasruddin. Okay, over to you, Hashim.
Hi, evening everybody. So I think most of you know who I am and know the face and know the craziness. And I want to say thank you to Bia for giving me the honor of being on the training and doing the training this evening. And I want to thank everybody for taking the time away from their busy lives, away from their family, to be on the call, to empower themselves and to educate themselves. So so the slide what I'm going to do tonight is how to achieve 10,000 volume points, but most of all how to guide your team to make 10,000 volume points. Because that's what we're all about duplicating and educating ourselves. So Bia, if you can go to the next slide, please.
Can I just ask everybody to mute himself? We have later on the possibility to ask questions, okay? Thank you.
So very, very important. I've structured this training in such a way that I'm not going to talk too much. I'll leave a lot of time open for questions at the end of the training slot. But I like to share a few stories with you guys. And the first question is, it's easy saying make 10,000 volume points, but the question is how. So I have a friend, his name is Evan Rhodes. He's from Hawaii. And he's been doing 10,000 points consecutively for the past 2 years. He never once went 1 month 9,900. He's been doing minimum for the past 2 years consecutively 10,000 volume points. And on quite a few occasions, I asked him, Evan, how do you do 10,000 consecutively? And then he smiled and he said he just talks to a lot of people about our amazing products and our amazing company. And we had this conversation going back and forth a couple of times until one day I actually changed the question. I changed it and I asked him, Evan, how do I make 10,000 points consecutively? And he smiled and he said, first make your first 10,000 and then we talk again. And he said that to me. The funny thing is, he said that to me a few months ago already, and I could see him doing the 10,000 easily, because if he could do 10,000 consecutively, consistently for 2 years ongoing, he must have been doing something that made him consistent. But I always admired him for doing it. You can go to the next slide. Until I realized what he said. And how do I start? I needed to change my mindset. And only then when I realized I need to see that 10,000 in front of me first. So I changed my mindset. I changed how I looked at it. So I didn't ask him anymore how he was going to do it. I asked myself, how am I going to do it? But when I asked the question to myself, my entire mindset changed. Because when my mindset changed, the results started to change. And so the thing is, the whole 10,000 started with me on how I'm going to look at it, and what I was going to do different, how am I going to get a new result. And I think the most important thing that comes with mindset is attitude. Here you can skip. So the reality is, we all know we need to change our mindsets, but attitude is everything. Most of us don't realize it, but without the proper attitude, we're not going to accomplish, we're not going to achieve anything. Let me just move that away so I can see better. So ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, but attitude determines how well you do it. And the thing is, it's one thing that, but your attitude must match what you want to do and how you're going to do it. The next slide, Bia. So I think this three questions is the very, very important questions. So the first thing you should ask yourself is, who do you surround yourself with? There's a very famous saying, Jim Rohn says, you become the average of the 5 people you're spending your time with. So you can either, if you spend a lot of time with people that's not making it in life, the chances are you're not going to be successful. If you spend your time with people that's successful, you're going to become successful. But the thing is, this is also very dangerous. So you need to, I always took this a step further. So let's say, for argument's sake, you are a supervisor or you are a senior consultant. It doesn't matter where you fit on the marketing plan. But let's say, for argument's sake, you're a senior consultant and the only friends you keep are senior consultants, you're going to stay a senior consultant. If you're a supervisor and the friends you keep is only supervisors, you're going to stay a supervisor. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying the friends that you have that are supervisors, that are senior consultants, I'm not saying chase them away. I'm not saying don't spend time with them, but get people that challenges you, that want you to become more. People, so like if I look at Evan Rhodes, I've never met, there's a lot of people that's in my circle of friends that I haven't met as of yet in person. But the levels of conversations we have, it's like we've been best friends forever. So surround those kind of people in your circle so that they can challenge you. And I'll tell you now why I say that. When I made the 10,000, I felt like great achievement. I felt like I've done something big. And with the people's reactions congratulating me on the 10,000, job well done, I was pretty chuffed with myself. Until I spoke to Evan and I told Evan, yeah, I made my first 10,000. And I didn't get the response from him that I thought I would get. Because to him, 10,000 was not something big. To him, 10,000 was something normal. And then I realized I can't rave about the 10,000 because it's supposed to be the norm. And the other thing I wanted to share with you guys is the very first, the very first person that private messaged me was Kelly Yateman, 20K Press Team Kelly Yateman, and she congratulated me and she was all nice and she's like, well done, Dasim, job well done, we're watching you and we love what you're doing. And it felt amazing that she could recognize me on that level. And then later the day, Brett, her husband, sent me a message. He also congratulated me and he said, obviously I have the plan right. But then he took out his hammer and smashed me to the ground. But all he said was, so does everybody in your team know how to do the 500 times 3 plus 2? Do they know the structures? Do they know what they do? And in the same time that he congratulated me for my achievement, he brought me back to reality that the work is not done. I have so much work that I needed to do. So the people, that's very, very important. The people that you surround yourself, it doesn't have to be people you talk to every day, but it's people that knows what your goal are, people that know where you're going and what it is that you need to do. They must be able to bring you down to earth at all times. And the other important thing I want to cover is like what or how much work are you willing to put in? The thing is, everybody would like to do 10,000 points. Everybody would like to do to get to their next level as soon as possible. But the question is, are you willing to put in the work? It's one thing saying I want 10,000 points, but it takes work. It takes work with yourself. It takes work with your team. It takes sacrifice. Are you willing to put in the time? Are you willing to put in the work? I can promise you, I'm excited. I'm excited for the 15th because I can only imagine how my passive is going to look like. And those are one of the few things that, one of the many things that excites me. But the thing is, like, it's no use saying you want to do it, but you're not willing to put in the work. And I've placed this question at the bottom of the page, but it's there for the reason. I think this, out of all three of these questions that you ask yourself, I think this one is the most important one. Why should you do 10,000 points? What is so significant about doing 10,000 points? So for me, what was important for me to do 10,000 points was, like, when I left the LDW last year, Brett and Kelly, they kicked my behind. And when I left there, I realized I can't do less than 5,000. 5,000 should be my mark. And without fail, leaving that LDW, 5,000 was my average. Until I had a conversation with Bia, and Bia asked me, why am I playing small? Because 5,000 isn't my mark. 5,000 shouldn't be my mark. Because if I make 5,000 without any fail every month, it means that I'm not challenging myself. It means I can do more. And then Bia said I must make 10,000. And at the time, I didn't understand why she needed me to make 10,000. But I still did it. I still went for it. And I went for it. But now, when I did the 10,000, I'll tell you now the significance of 10,000. When I made 10,000, it made me look at everything differently. It made me look at what I do differently, and it changed my mindset about how I do the business. But I think the thing that stood out the most for me about making the 10,000 was how it impacted my team. And we all know, and it didn't happen with any of your members, but we all know a lot of members went on holiday coming November, coming December, and they went into holiday mode. So what happened for me was when I hit the 10,000 mark, the moment it went public, I got so much private messages from my team. I got private messages from my supervisors saying game up, game on, they bring the A game. I got messages from brand new members. I got messages from members in my volume line. And what I realized was brand new members said they will do anything it takes to become supervisor in the next month. Members, everybody wanted to reach their next level. I had members that needed 1,000 points. I had members that needed 2,000, 3,000 points to make supervisor. But because I hit 10,000, it showed them that 10,000 is possible in a month. So 3,000, 2,000, 1,000 is possible. And what made it possible? Clearly, I had a clear plan of getting to that 10,000. So automatically, it showed them that I have a plan to give to them. It showed them that 10,000 didn't fall on my lap. There was a plan that I followed. So whatever 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 they needed to get to their next level, I have the plan to take them there. And those were the kind of conversations I had the past week with the people. So that's why you should do 10,000. Not just for yourself, but to inspire your team, to show them that you have the plan to help them. Next, Bia. So I would like to take credit for this one. but I can't. So Bia has beautifully put together a toolbox for us. So this toolbox, so what we discovered was that our flow, we have a very good flow. If you follow our flow to the T, you get the success to the T. The nice thing about our flow, how you follow the people, how much people you put into the funnel, we will know exactly how much people are going to get out of the funnel. But the flow, it's working perfectly. What makes the flow not working perfectly is the little nitty-bitties we add on. So Bia beautifully packed together a toolbox. And I call it a toolbox because when you, what doesn't matter what kind of job you do, you get a toolbox. And in that toolbox, you get all the tools that you need to do the job that's required from you at that time. And I want to make an example. I'm going to use a cake. I know it's a strange example to use, but I'll use a cake. Let's take a chocolate cake. If you take a chocolate cake, if you change any of the recipe, any of the ingredients in the chocolate cake, you will still have a chocolate cake, but you'll have one that's texture is different, the moisture is different, the decorations is different. It will still be called a chocolate cake. But if you change any of the ingredients in there, it will be a different type of chocolate cake. Moral of the story is, if you change anything in our flow, any small changes you make, any add-ons that you make, will bring your outcome differently to what it's supposed to be. And that's why I'm so grateful for Bia for putting this toolbox together, because this toolbox, it equals duplication. If you follow the toolbox, it's beautifully designed in such a way that, because when we're going to talk 4,000 now, and I'll break the 4,000, we'll go into the 4,000 now, but before I go into the 4,000, I will explain to you guys why this toolbox is so important. So we're going to run at a pace so fast, because ideally what we used to do in the past is, if I sign up a new member, I sit and I show the new member our flow and his business plan, and when that new member signs up a new member, I still sit with that new member, showing them both the flow so that they can get used to it. But the new way we're gonna do business now, we're gonna sign up members so fast, you won't be able to be everywhere at once. But when your brand new member follows the toolbox to the T, like you explain it to them, they can explain it to anybody. They just follow the guidelines in the toolbox, and it's that simple. So let's talk 4,000. So our new lingo is 4,000. And why I say our new lingo is 4,000, if you look at 500 times 3 plus 2, everybody knows that. Everybody knows those words, and they know how to do it. And we've been doing it. It's evident, successful in Cape Town, successful in South Africa. It's successful around the world. So we're going to start talking 4,000. So what does 4,000 mean? 4,000 means we're going to take the brand new member, you sign him up today, and within 2 months, the brand new member is going to become supervisor. So now the nice thing is, we can do it in 1 month or 2 months. You can decide. So now the question you're going to ask yourself is, how do we create this 4,000? Did I say 2,000? How do we create this 4,000? It's simple. And we've been talking about 4,000 all the time, in 2 months, in 1 month, but nobody showed us what it is you need to do. So let's use simple mathematics. So if you need to do 4,000, let's use 2 months. Let's use 2 months. If you need to do 4,000 in 2 months to become supervisor, you need 8 people to do 500. Write it down. You need 8 people to do 500. So from the 8 people, you are one of them, because you must do the 500 first. Then you need 7 other people to do 500. So now I want you to write down. So we know for a fact this is how it works. I've tried and tested this month in and month out, and this is how the numbers work. If you want 2 to 3 people doing 500 a month, you need to sign up 10 members. You need to sign up 10 members. So now I know the question is, how am I going to sign up 10 members? The beautiful thing about the toolbox is it will tell you how to invite people. It will show you how to invite people to the meeting. So let's just trust the toolbox. So we know for a fact to get 2 to 3 members to make 500 a month, you need to sign up 10 members. Are you still with me? So I want you to write down on the page 500 twice. Like that. Can you guys see? 500 twice. So that will be, if you do it in 2 months, so you sign up 10 people, out of the 10, 2 to 3 people will make 500. So month 1, your 500 and their 500 will give you 1,500.
Sorry.
So what you should do then is, then the second month. So now the second month, when your 2 members follow the toolbox, you guys must remember, when they follow the toolbox, they each will sign up 10 people, and each of them will get the 2 to 3 people that's doing the 500. So then it will look something like this. I don't know if you guys can see. So that will be your 2 members making 5. Let me just bring it closer. Let me just see if I can see myself. I can't see myself. Anyway, that's not important. So what you do is in the second month, both the members did the 500 and they both each got 2 members doing 500. If we add up the volume, let me explain it to you. Let me put it like this. So first month, you sign up 10 members. Out of the 10, 2 will do 500. So you write down 500 twice. Second month, you teach those 2 members to sign up 10 people each. And out of the 10, they sign up each. They each will get 2 members. So if you write that down, they do 500 and the 2 members do 500. From that 1 member alone, you're getting 1,500. That's in the second month. If those both members get on the other side the same, 1 member sign up 2 members, and they both sign up 500. That's already another 1,500. That's in the second month, eh? Not even counting the first month in. That's already giving you 3,000. With your 500 is 3,500. And if you add the other 1,500 from the previous month, you're standing on 5,000 points already for the 2 months. Is everybody still with me on that? So if you break it down, if you follow that chain, so you can even go a step further. When I say you can go a step further, you can do that in 1 month, meaning sign up 20 people. So you just double the numbers. But if you want to do it in 2 months, all you need to do is the first month, sign up 10 people. Out of the 10 people you sign up, you get 2 people doing 500. You teach that 2 people to sign up 10 people, and they will do both 500. Then for those 2 months together, accumulated, you will stand on 5,000 points, which puts you over to supervisor already, standing with 1,000 extra points already. And the reason why this is so important is when you get the structure right, every second month you'll be pushing out new supervisors. But the beautiful thing about it is the points will build up to such a point. Once they hit supervisor the second month, the third month they'll go first cut active supervisor with more than 4,000 points on them. They go second cut with 5 to 6, actually 6,000 plus points. They go active supervisor with 7,000 plus points, setting them already up for active world team. So I know we've played with a lot of numbers and it might sound confusing to a lot of you, especially to the new people. It might go over your head. But I have to put it down to you so that you can see what we're playing with. So the seriousness is all about how much people you talk to. Everybody must just make 500. That's it. Can you go to the next slide, please? So you can have it all. You can really have it all. It just depends on you. The quote I want to leave you guys with is: if you can't stop thinking about it, don't stop working for it. Let's do this. So, Bia, can we open the line for questions? I think a lot of people might be confused, and if you ask the questions, we'll clarify it.
So from my side, I opened all the lines. Hashim, this was very, very impressive. Thank you very much for that. But I hand over to everybody. Start with your questions. I'm sure there must be questions.
Coach, I'm seeing you tomorrow for a meeting, so is it fine if we discuss it tomorrow?
But if you have questions now, you should ask it. Must I tell you why? Because other people can learn from the questions.
Okay, Nasim, I've got a question from the very cold Germany, distant Germany. My question is, how is it possible to make 10 new members a month? When I talk to people, they don't want to become members, they just want to lose weight, or they would just want to buy the products from me. But I think it's so you must have, how many clients do you need to get 10 members?
Doris, I will share a trick with you what I do. So what I do is, from the 6-day challenge, everywhere I invite people to the meeting. But we all know we invite, but nobody pitches for the meeting. We know that for a fact, right?
Yeah.
So my deal, I use trial packs. So what I do is, once they upgrade from the trial pack to the 21-day, they paying for their products full price.
Yes.
Then what I tell them is, I never talk business to them. This is my line that I use. I will tell them, wow, you love the products and you're upgrading to the 21-day package. So whatever they took Shake LOT, and we know the price of the stuff, but it's full price. And then I ask them, how would you like to get your products for 25% cheaper? How would you like that? And then obviously they're paying for the products. They're going to say yes. Then I said, you just have to attend one meeting. So then I send them to a meeting. Chances, worst case scenario, they become a preferred member, which means they still love the products. They still enjoy the products. They get it at a 25% discount because they're a preferred member. When they get the results, they refer people to you or realize that you do business. But what if? So that is why it's important to sign up 10 people. Because out of the 10 people you send to the meeting that sign up, 2 or 3 of them are going to seriously look at the business.
Yeah.
So that is how I invite my people to the meeting. I just tell them, what if I can show you a way to get products 25% cheaper? That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Hashim,
So very important. I don't discount out of my own pocket. I send them to a meeting, because once you discount out of your own pocket, then they're not going to go to the meeting because they're already getting it at a discount.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that's right.
Maybe another question to add to Doris' question, because she said, how do you get 10 members and how many clients do you need? Hashim, the members you sign up, are these only people who were before clients, or do you also invite people to the meeting who might be in the beginning initially just interested in earning an extra income, who you met maybe randomly, and then obviously they start also on the products?
You see, Bia, it's very interesting, because if you look around us, everybody needs extra income. If you look at how hard the people work with the little money they're making, so I normally just ask them, when I'm in the shop, I go shopping, but it doesn't matter what I do, and then I see somebody, then I say, hey, what if I show you a way how you can earn an extra income between 3,000 to 5,000 Rand by not changing anything what you currently do, still doing your current job, still having family time, still doing what you need to do, but supplement a little bit of your time for an extra income. And the worst thing they can say is no. And if they say no, then I give them a business card and I say, maybe you can give it to somebody that might need it. And then I go on.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing, Bia, is that I think most of you know the story about the car guard. And we normally walk past the car guards. We normally walk past the cashier in the shop. We normally walk past the waiters in the shop. The one thing that I never do, I never judge who I'm going to give the opportunity to. Because from the best of people that looks the best of people to everybody, to the guy who you understand, everybody deserves the opportunity. Absolutely everybody. What they do with it is entirely up to them. Obviously, the more people you speak to, the higher the ratio of people coming on board.
Next question. Thanks, Hashim.
Bia, can I add something? May I add something?
Please go.
And I know for a fact, when I say sign up 10 members, you're thinking, what the heck is this guy talking about signing up 10 members? I can't even get 10 customers. In reality is, I remember when I was told initially to sign up 10 members, I was thinking, I will never be able to do that. And that first month, I signed up 10 members. Remember at the beginning, I asked how, and I said it's a mindset. You're going to tell yourself you won't be able to make it. You're not going to make it. Tell yourself, you guys must remember, just give the opportunity to everybody. If you look at your contact list, who do you look at your contact list, do you think needs an opportunity? Who do you see on your contact list that you need a healthier lifestyle? If you just look at your own contact list, you can fill your 10 names in the next 3 months. But the reason why we don't go to our contact list is quite simple. Because we judged before the time already. We already think, Leland won't take it, Leland won't take it. So we shouldn't judge, we should just give it. I have a saying, I give the opportunity to anybody. Whatever they do with the opportunity is entirely up to them. But it's my responsibility to everybody. So yeah.
Fantastic.
And the other nice thing about sending your current customer base to meetings is it's kind of forcing you to go out and get new customers. So there's always a constant flow of new people coming into the business all the time.
Yeah. True. So if I can say that in for probably also to make you thinking more about your question. Now we were talking about how everybody can achieve, even brand new members, 4,000 volume points. Hashim has achieved 10,000 volume points. So that's 2.5 times what you basically can when you put your mindset to it as a first step. Because when you think now back what he was talking earlier on, he challenged himself to the 5,000, and 5,000 was easy. Now he challenged himself for the 10,000. So what he is talking about, you don't need to challenge yourself for the 10,000, but challenge yourself first of all for the 5 or at least for the 4,000. If you're a supervisor and you aim for the 4K, then basically through that you get a much better base for your active supervisor. And those who are not supervisor yet, when you can do the 4,000 in 1 month, the active supervisor is no question for you. The qualification for Paris is no question for you. So everything basically starts then to fall into place. Hashim has achieved 8,172 downline volume in his entire 10,000 volume points from last month. May I ask you, how many members does that include?
Sure. Yeah, I do. That's part of that. That's part of that 8,000. About 8,000 beer.
8,172.
I didn't check how much members in total it was, but it was quite a big number of members there. It wasn't 1, 2 members. It was accumulated by a team of members, and every little bit pushed towards the 8,000. It wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4 key people. It was the collaboration of a lot of members doing 500, doing 600, doing 800, doing 1,000, everything that makes sense.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Hashim,
You know
I've got
what?
another question. So when
Yeah.
you have so many members, do you also sort out those who are very ambitious? So to give them a special training or meeting, so to advance and accelerate their achievements and their success.
So Doris, from the word goes very, very important to know what your members' goal is and
Yeah.
to find out by them at what pace they want to go. It's no use I see a member that can do 2,000, that can do 5,000, but I'm pushing them and they're not ready to go that way. So it's important. That's why in the questions I ask, how much or what are you willing to do to get there? Because that's what you need to answer yourself, but you must speak to your upline. You must ask your member what and how long do they want to. The first question you're asking is what is their goal and how long do they want to take to go there? By once you have defined that, you know what the right assistance you can give them. You know what you can tell them and how you can push them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right.
Also, just to add on, guys, the new thing we're talking about, 4,000. I think I want everybody to listen. The new people and the old people. The reason why I need the old people to listen is, I promise you guys, when you get this right, you will go from each marketing plan every 3 months in the marketing plan. I promise you, when you get this right, when you get this 4,000 right, because the way the volume is going to be produced in your team, it's not going to be one person doing 2,000, 3,000. It's going to be a lot of people doing consistently simple things, creating that momentum, pushing that movement. And that is what multi-level marketing is about. It's creating a hub of people, creating a lot of people doing a few simple things consistently. So that's why I'm challenging everybody on the school, whether you're a brand new member that started this month or whether you're an old member. From today onwards, we're gonna make the 4,000. Why? Old members might think, why should I make 4,000 simple? If you want to teach a brand new member coming in the business how to do the 4,000 in 2 months or in 1 month, you must do it first. Because you can't teach somebody to do something that you have no idea how I'm doing it. Does it make sense, guys? So all of us, if you want to go to the next level and you want to take your team to the next level, start doing the 4,000 either in 2 months. I will say do it in 2 months. Those of you that want to do it in 1 month, do. But the reason why I say do it in 2 months, once you master the 2 months, then you go over doing it in 1 month. And you see, if you start doing 4,000 every month, just in your own personal space, and the other people, the volume does the same. I don't even think you guys can see what I'm seeing going on in my head. I just see numbers. I see everybody on this call in 3 months from now moving a step up in the marketing plan, moving 2 steps up in the marketing plan, moving 3 steps up in the marketing plan. Because not if, when you master this, and the only way you're going to master this is repetition, repetition, repetition. Stay simple, keep it simple, don't add on new things. I think I said a lot. I think it's time for me too.
We just wait for 3 more seconds if there is another question.
Rita had a question, Bea, but she don't want to ask. I don't know why she's trying to ask.
A 17-year-old, if I want to sign up a 17-year-old, what do I need? I haven't spoken about it yet, but I have a 17-year-old that is interested in signing up. But what do I need to get from them?
So what you're gonna need from a 17-year-old is quite simple. You go to the warehouse. They will give you a form. So on that form, that the 17-year-old's guardian must sign it off, and it must be stamped by the police station. All of those things. Commission of oath. That's it. Then you sign it up at the warehouse. That's it. Any questions? How to make 10,000, guys? Come on. If you guys were confused about the numbers, don't panic too much if the numbers confused you. As long as you know where we're going with this, the more we're going to speak about it, the more it will be clarified to you. If you don't understand, speak to your upline. Call a meeting with your upline. Do something, but don't leave it here. Do yourself one favor. Accept the challenge of 4,000, even if you don't know what it is about. Even if you don't understand what you need to do. But accept the challenge. Because everything you're going to accept first, you're going to do. Accept it. Don't say, I first want to understand it. Embrace it and then understand it afterwards. Make the upfront commitment, telling yourself, and it doesn't matter where you are in the marketing plan right now. Tell yourself, it's the first week in February, so in March, I want to have 4,000 points accumulated. Make that the goal. If you want to do it in 1 month, perfect, do it in 1 month. But make that the goal, start somewhere. Because once you can do it, you can duplicate it down in your lines. And you'll see. And you know what, the thing I really love about what we do, this 10,000 that I'm speaking about now, it didn't happen last month. Yes, the points was accumulated last month, but the whole momentum came from November already. It came from December already. And that's the beauty of it, because of the work we put in November and December, the momentum just kept on pushing. When everybody says that people don't have money in January, guess what? We did 10,000. So that shows you the whatever you put in place now, the momentum is going to push you all the way. We are done.
I think there's nothing more to add on, and I would suggest basically let it sink in. And a very important part you had in the beginning and how you started up the call is really to think about the mindset. If you have a small mindset and a small thinking, there's small achievement. But if you really, and you said something very nice to me recently, Hashim, and you shared with me your goal for the end of the year, where you said, I'm actually scared about the goal, but I can't sleep anymore. I want to achieve it. I want to achieve it. And I need to do anything what is necessary. When you start to fall in love with that thought of 4,000, when you start to fall in love with, I can do that, it's possible, then you start all of a sudden to put the magnets right within your mindset to attract the right things. Hashim was talking about the toolbox. We had a long conversation about it today. I put it together within this week. It will be available from your sponsor. So just talk to your sponsor, to your mentor. It will be available very, very shortly. We will talk about it more next Monday at the same time, same call, same number, so that you get more and more into the thing. So we give you Monday by Monday more of these tools, more of this toolbox that you can use and can add your members also into these calls, because this is part even of your toolbox, and we make it more strategic within the next 90 days. But don't wait 90 days, get started now already and use everything what is possible. So if you're really hot and want to get your 4,000 done, then contact your sponsor, contact your mentor. They know already the tools for it, and get going with them. Hashim, I cannot say more than thank you, because I know you put a lot of thought and effort into this call tonight. You are on a challenge now, because that you can do 10,000 once, we know now. But do it consistently, show us that what you were talking about tonight.
So I just want to add something. So when I spoke to Evan, and remember guys, Evan is a guy that does 10,000 consecutively for 2 years. And when I spoke to him, I said, Evan, I made 10,000. So how do I stay making 10,000 consecutively? He said, well, awesome. Whatever activities, he said, he never said activity. He said, whatever activities, meaning spending time with the team, investing time with the team, whatever activities I did to do that 10,000, I must increase that activities by 30% now. And that will ensure consistency all the way. Thank
We're gonna watch you. We're gonna watch you.
Yeah.
No, it's brilliant tip. What I like, and this may be in closing, what I appreciate in Hashim now, I watch him since more than a year, since he has got started in Herbalife, and we had our very first conversation where he became a member and said he really wants to make an impact in this world, not just in his world, in this world. And he's really challenging himself, making contact with leaders on all different levels, in all different countries. Social media makes it possible. And he becomes to some people in the beginning a little bit like a bug, till he finally gets the answers, how he wants to have the answers from these people. But this shows basically he does not really think about if the other person, how the other person thinks about him. He shows really the burning desire to learn, and put it into action to prove to these people where he got the ideas really that they have invested their time in the right person, that it's not wasted, that it's not just please give me, but never it's used. He really proves to these people that it was valuable, their time, their investment in him. And this is really going back to what he said in the beginning, surround yourself with the people who challenge you, not with the people who basically keep you down. So in closing to that, Hashim, just again, thank you very much. Thanks to each one of you who were on the call tonight. We recorded the call, so Hashim, you can listen to yourself later on. But obviously to all the people who are here on the call, you want to listen to that over and over again. And we come back with the tools during the course of the week, and latest by Monday, you get a nice ready-made toolbox, but don't wait for it. Speak to your sponsor and mentor now. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody. Good night. Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you very much for motivating.
Bye. Bye. Ciao. Singapore just now. Bye. Ciao, everybody. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Louis, nice to see your family, huh?